board now. Will you lead us in prayer?
Lord, we just thank you for the opportunity to come together again and be about the work of the people of Kingstree, South Carolina. We ask for your favor and your presence. We ask for wisdom in our proceedings, Lord. We ask forgiveness for those things that come between you and us. We pray in Jesus' name.
Amen. Lord, me has been notified. I welcome a motion to approve the regular council meeting agenda for March 19, 2018.
Make a motion that we approve the regular council meeting agenda for March 19, 2018.
I got a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Questions? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying no. Aye. I welcome a motion to discuss and approve the minutes from the regular council meeting held on February 19, 2018.
Nothing in order here. I'd like to discuss and approve the minutes from the regular council meeting held on February 19, 2018.
Have a second.
Second.
What was all the discussions? Questions? If there's none, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying no. Ayes have it. Any public comments?
None.
All right. Mr. Lamar, you want to read 2018 disability awareness?
Yes, sir, Mayor. This is a proclamation by the town of Kingstree for 2018 Disabilities Awareness Month. Whereas more than 500,000 South Carolina residents and families are impacted by severe lifelong disabilities, including autism, head injuries, spinal cord injuries, intellectual disabilities, and related disabilities without regard to race, culture, geography, age, sex, or economic class. And whereas people with lifelong disabilities are productive citizens, neighbors, and family members deserving of respect and opportunity for economic self-sufficiency, independence, and personal growth. And whereas the South Carolina Department of Disabilities and Special Needs and Williamsburg County Disabilities and Special Needs Board work with families to provide support services that promote independence and inclusion. And whereas we owe a special debt of gratitude to the caregivers who selflessly provide physical, emotional, and spiritual support to our residents with disabilities and special needs. And whereas the 2018 observance of Disabilities Awareness Month celebrates the successful partnership between people with and without disabilities and the increasing involvement of people with disabilities in education, employment, and community activities. Now, therefore, I, Aaron Tisdale, Mayor of the town of Kingstree, in the great state of South Carolina, do hereby proclaim March 2018 as Disabilities Awareness Month in the town of Kingstree.
I welcome a motion to adopt 2018 disability awareness month proclamation.
I move that we accept the 2018 Disability Awareness Month proclamation as stated.
And second.
Second.
Is there any questions? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying no. Ayes have it. Very no. You will read that?
Yes, sir. 2018-03 Fair Housing Resolution. Whereas the town of Kingstree desires that all its citizens be afforded the opportunity to attain a decent, safe, and sound living environment, and whereas the town of Kingstree rejects discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, sex, national origin, disability, and/or familial status in the sale, rental, or provision of other housing services, and whereas the state of South Carolina enacted the South Carolina Fair Housing Law in 1989, and whereas April is recognized nationally as Fair Housing Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town of Kingstree does hereby designate designate April 2018 as Fair Housing Month, adopted this 19th day of March 2018 by the Kingstree Town Council and published in the newspaper on March the 20th, 2018.
I welcome motion to accept fair housing resolution.
I move that we accept the 2018 Fair Housing Resolution.
A second. All, any questions? All in favor, say aye. All opposed by saying no. Ayes have it. Al?
Good evening, Mayor and members of Town Council. Before you is a information package regarding the 2020 census, also known as LOCA, the Local Update Census Addressing Operation System. The town of Kingstree, as well as Williamsburg County, are members that are participating in the LOCA. Now, what is LOCA? LOCA is an umbrella of the Census Bureau. And as you all know, every 10 years, the United States conduct a census of population of the citizens in the country. And we are now planning, preparing, and getting ready for that 2020 census. Why is the census and population important? If you would turn to the last page of that packet, there is a listing of 16 federally funded programs, and those are just some of the programs that Williamsburg County, Kingstree benefits from. And as you can see, the dollar amount coming into South Carolina is $7.3 million, equivalent to almost $1,500 per year per citizen of the United Park, South Carolina. Right now, South Carolina has an increase of approximately 67,000 persons from the 2010 census. So the state is growing. And again, going back to LUCA and our part in the program is that we want to have everyone accounted for. This is from the newborns to the seniors, those tribal and every characteristic or background. And again, we'll be working with the county. The county and Kingstree has partnered, because what comes into Williamsburg County will benefit Kingstree and vice versa. So we're going to ask council to also assist in disseminating this information. We want to go out throughout the county to disseminate this information, that we ensure that every person is accounted for. This would include those properties that are in the characterized as the woods, those that are, let's say, town of Kingstree, and there may be an apartment or garage structure where someone is living in. And so, as I mentioned, partnership. What the LUCA program would do is allow the county, the town, to compare their information with our information. So again, the county treasurer's office, assessor's office, the mapping department, the water department, the Waccamaw Regional Council of Government, all of us have already compared our notes to ensure that the addresses match. Now, the Census Bureau will be sending their information over, and we all will get together and see whether our information compares to theirs. If there is something that has been omitted, then we will add it to their spreadsheet. If there is something that needs to be deleted, then we will delete it from our records and send them an update. We've been working with the census as well to ensure that our mapping and our jurisdiction is correct. So, they have received all of that. And I present this as information only, and ask that you accept it as information.
an ordinance to provide restrictions on through traffic of certain trucks and commercial vehicles on a portion of Main Street. This is from South County 261, stretching from the 4-lane intersection of 261 and South County 527 and 52. This is restricting the 18-wheelers from going through there and heavy commercial vehicles. There's a bypass. When they come in from Main, you take a right, you go down by the hospital, you take a left, you take a right on Main. This is a bypass to bypass the downtown section. This kind of fits in with our Main Street, where we're trying to develop our Main Street businesses and commercial district.
But this does not restrict those commercial vehicles that are making deliveries, is that correct?
This is correct.
Okay, so that just wasn't stated, just to make that clear. I'm sure it's in the ordinance, but just for
It's in
clarification
there.
for the public,
All right.
that's not the
If trucks are making deliveries to businesses on Main Street, that's something allowed. But it's through traffic with the heavy trucks.
Any more questions? In order to take a roll call.
Mayor, this is a roll call vote for ordinance 2018-03. Councilwoman Butterworth,
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murdoch,
Hearing,
Mayor Pro Tem Hammond,
yes.
Councilwoman Kelly,
Yeah.
Councilwoman McCullough,
Yes.
Mayor Tisdale.
Yes. You want to talk to us next before we proceed?
To do has requested to see the municipal parking lot restoration bid. We had engineering work done on this thing a while back. This is our main parking lot between Hampton, Main Street, Academy Street, and Mill Street. And gave you a little history of it. The Jenkins and Law firm worked very hard to try to get those people to give us a long-term lease on this properties so that we could do something about the parking lot. Right now, it's not marked, and we park randomly, and probably we could put at least 1/3 more vehicles in there that are in there. I do want to say on us acquiring the old Carnegie building and the museum annex, that we did acquire also property running from Hampton Street to Academy Street, making up about 1/3 of the parking lot. So therefore, we own about 1/3 of the parking lot. We have just received in your packet there. You should have the proposal from our engineering company that for $290,383.40. And this is only a projected cost. There's only projected cost of the parking lot. If you turn the page there, this is roughly what it's going to be. There are property owners around there that I'm sure they're going to want us to amend where the parking places are. But this is basically what we're working with. Well, we have received funding from this. We want to thank Senator Sapp and the work that he did for us, as well as the county. Our portion of it is $54,081.41, which is 18% of the project, and it will come out of hospitality. And Williamsburg County will step up to $75,000. We do have a grant now from the State Department of Commerce for $161,285. asking for here is authorization to proceed with the bidding project.
Any questions?
Do you have another copy of that? Because I don't think that's in my packet.
This is good, this is.
Any more questions? We'll take a roll call on that one.
Yeah, this is a roll call vote authorizing town manager to pursue bids for the construction of the parking lot, municipal parking lot. Councilwoman Butterworth,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Councilwoman Murdoch,
Yay.
Mayor Pro Tem Hammond,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCullough,
Yes.
Mayor Tisdale.
Thank you, Lamar. Anyone know about the next one?
Yes, I do. This is a request to secure bids for the LED sign on Main Street. The sign will go there on the island that face towards Manning and Charleston highways. This request is coming out of the Main Street Committee. We've been talking about it for some time, talking about an LED sign that goes there. And if you look in your packet, you should have this LED specifications. This is not necessarily, you have a picture up there. It says historic downtown Kingstree, South Carolina. And this would be the sign that would go up. Of course, the center part would be the LED part. But at the bottom of it, you would have the LED specifications. And we would use a brick base and columns. I do want to say that the copy that you have in front of you was put together by Randy Wilson, who was the architect for the Main Street project. And this is what he put together for us. And I'm asking for permission to go ahead with the bid on this project.
Need a motion?
Hey, let me say something else too. Maybe we can put two together. The question is, how are we going to pay for this? We're going to pay for this, but we will keep it apart for two different bids. We're asking for a budget amendment, and we're asking for $45,000 for the Main Street sign. Mayor, I would just go ahead with the vote.
I need a motion to secure their own bids on this sign. I welcome the motion for that. Then we'll vote on the budget amendment. Y'all want to vote together?
Just keep them separate.
See,
All right, I welcome the motion.
Mr. Mayor, if I'm in order, I make the motion that we accept the outline as laid by Mr. Trim to secure the bid for the LED light sign.
I need a second. Second. All right. Floor is open for any questions.
You mentioned 45,000.
Yes.
Just quickly, on the top of
It's
this.
27,000.
27.5, what's the other 20, roughly 28?
The other,
27,000.
that money was, we just upped it. The money's going to come out of the hospitality and accommodations. Right. The money is for the sign, but we don't know what else is involved in this thing with the electrical work and this type of thing. There's more, so we just threw it up. It might not come in at 27.5.
Okay.
But of course, we won't spend what money we don't have to.
Yeah, that's what I said, that's what I just wanted clarification.
Right.
The 27.5. Okay.
Any more questions?
Councilwoman Kelly, Councilwoman McCullough,
Yes.
Mayor Tiffany.
Yes. All right, I need a motion for first reading of ordinance 2018-4 on the amendment, budget amendment for the new project.
Mayor, may I comment on this?
Yes, you go ahead, Alderman.
Okay, notice the 45,000, 60,000 is our portion of the parking lot. We think it'll come back in 54,000, but we just added something there just in case we need it. Might also add that we have over $700,000 in hospitality fund.
I need a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the first reading of ordinance 2018-04, ordinance to amend the budget and fund new projects.
Have a second.
Second.
Floor is open for discussion. Any questions? Take a roll call.
This is a roll call vote for ordinance 2018-04. Councilwoman Butler,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Councilwoman Murdoch,
Yay.
Mayor Pro Tem Hammond,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCullough,
Yes.
Mayor Tiffany.
Yes. Mr. Allen?
Okay. And if I may distribute additional. On February 27th, 2018, the Kingstree Planning Commission met in the form of a public hearing to decide the requests of the property owners of Hardee's Restaurant, which is located at the corner of Long Street, West Main Street, or 215 West Main Street. Notification was provided via the local news. Each of the adjoining property owners were also notified of this public hearing. There were no comments during the public hearing. And after discussion, review of the comprehensive plan, reviewing of the location, and the reasoning why the owners wanted or requested the property to be rezoned, the Planning Commission forwarded a favorable recommendation for the rezoning for council, and it is the purpose that we're here. The Hardee's restaurant owners requested the rezoning for the purpose they would like to have their building characterized in a more modern, traditional form as their other facilities within the southeast part of the country. Before you are designs of the building that they're proposing. It is compatible to the design that's in the adjacent town of Manning, South Carolina. And presently being in the core commercial district, also known as the historic district, the property would have to go through several hearings through the Architecture Review Board, which would include the site design, where the building, as part of the ordinance adopted by council in 2010, will require it to have a zero building to lot design. With that requirement, your signage, your parking, landscaping would all have an effect. Also, being in the core commercial district, there is a requirement for color design, which the Architecture Review Board months ago approved a color palette that if those colors are chosen, then a hearing will not be necessary. But presently, for them to proceed with the demolition of this current building, which was built in 1972, and also to add 65% of their business is via the drive-through. Again, several hearings will be needed through the ARB. Each one of those require at least a month of notification to the public, site identification via sign postage, as well as notification in the local news. By having it rezoned, to highway commercial, which is also contiguous to the current zoning of highway commercial, a lot of those constraints would be removed. The building, through our conversation with the owners of Hardee's, could still be historic in nature, whereas we've discussed with them and have built such structures in historic Hilton Head as well as the Charleston area. And we've asked them to supply those designs to us as well. So even by removing it from the current district, it still could comply and be historic in nature. Also, you have page 3 is just a example of what the landscaping or site plan would be, and pretty much it would be a little smaller than the existing building, but providing additional parking spaces. Also, the landscaping at that corner would be enhanced. The corner, also known as the Central Business District of Kingstree, as you can see in your packet that I've given you at the end of the paper, stating the historic overlay, would still be compatible to your aesthetics pleasing, as well as the significance of enhancing the historic district. Yes, that is very well the entrance into the downtown area, and having a new building there, such as the display that you have there of Hardee's, would enhance the downtown historic district. I received one call a month ago stating, well, if Hardee's going to improve, then I must improve. So this could very well be a domino effect in assisting us with the Main Street project, as well as the beautification and the redesigning of downtown street buildings. Now on page 4, you will see a current map of that site. Presently, the property are located in the core commercial district, which is identified by the pink color. The proposal is to change those 3 properties to red, the highway commercial district. And as you can see, those red properties are already part of the historic overlay, as well as contiguous to the proposed